Familiar Wilson's Media. Relationships are the story.
You are made of meat, my friend, all the way down.
The following podcast uses words like and also. If you're not into any of that shit, then now's your chance.
3, 2, 1.
Run.
Super familiar with the Wilsons. Get it!
Welcome to Super Familiar with the Wilsons. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Josh. Amanda, guess what happened yesterday?
The tides turned, the flowers bloom, the babies were born. I don't know what.
All those things happened. Also, Ozzy Osbourne had his final concert.
I mean, how many times has Sir Ozzy said that he's going to have his final concert?
Is he knighted?
I don't think he's been knighted. I don't think he has an OBE. I don't think any of those things. But
I think he ate a bat.
Right.
That's what he did. I don't think that they give any sort of anything to people who eat bats.
All right. So how many times has he quit?
I don't know of any. I don't think he has.
Has that Madonna quit like 50 times?
I don't know. Billy Joel has quit a couple times, yes?
That's true. Because
Elton John just quit?
Billy Joel went and did his totally classical music thing, which is fine. I think Elton John he's on his farewell tour again, maybe, or it's finally over. Who knows? Also, I think Cher quit 70 times, but if Ozzy has just said the one time I quit, he wins.
So the concert was called the Back to the Beginning. It took place yesterday in Birmingham.
Did you say bat to the beginning or back?
Back to the beginning.
I have been to Birmingham.
It was a 10-hour concert.
No, sir.
Yes.
I have seen the gentleman. He cannot construct 3 consecutive sentences that are coherent. How did he do 10 hours of music?
He wasn't on stage the whole 10 hours. No, they had like
tribute bands?
Guns N' Roses and Metallica.
Wait, Guns N' Roses were there?
Yes, Slayer.
Did Rachel Plant go? Because never mind. Just kidding. That's Bon Jovi. Just kidding, Rachel. But you kind of like those metal bands.
No. So anyway, 10 hours of all these heavy hitter acts. And then the final couple hours, I guess, was Ozzy come out. He was seated
at the right hand of the Father.
He was seated in a like dark throne.
Of course.
Now, we're not going to make fun of him because I think he has Parkinson's. Like he is.
I mean, the gentleman has ridden his body hard.
Yeah, and put up wet. But he is. Yes. He is not doing well, but he managed to kind of pseudo sing for a couple hours. And of course, it was very emotional. Yeah. And so Ozzy is no more.
No, that Ozzy is still a thing. He is just no more of the performing.
What do you think about that? Because to be honest, I didn't know that he was still alive.
Of course you did. You just watched a video of him and Sir Paul McCartney, who is actually Jesus a Sir. Christ. Well, we were talking about Jennifer McCarthy earlier, and that's why I got confused.
This segment is a wash in ignorance, isn't it? Just the whole thing.
I had half a bottle of wine before we did this.
Oh, very good. Thank you for warning me that.
Yes.
This was all done for charity. He did
Which
this
charity? PETA?
He split it between 3: Cure Parkinson's,
okay,
Birmingham Children's Hospital,
okay,
and Acorn Children's Hospice. That's really sad.
Oh, Children's Hospice. That is sad.
Yeah. So, but good on him. The only thing I did for charity yesterday was I rounded up to the nearest dollar at the checkout.
I mean, I will always round up to the nearest dollar.
Yeah, I feel really good giving that last 17 cents to charity.
You're like, yeah, I'll do that. Even if it's 99 cents, it's fine. It's the least I can do. But I mean, you don't want to be the person who says, no, I will not round up my cents.
I have said no to, do you want to donate like $5 to this and that? I have said no to that before. Like the 17 cents, I'm okay with letting go of that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to have the metaphorical change rattling around in my pocket. But
no, I will always. So like our local grocery will do a drive for Children's Miracle Network. Like that's their big thing. And every time they will say, do you want to donate? So what I do is I donate $5 at the beginning. And then every time after I say, oh, I just did that. Oh, I just did that because I feel like that I'm done. I'm good.
Do you believe that they believe you though? When you say that?
They always tell me, thank you for donating.
Oh, yeah. What you need to do, some of these places, you can put your name up.
Yes, they also have me do that.
Yeah, but then you could be like, that one over there.
That was me.
That's me. You should have your little picture next to it, too. Already gave. This is how I can prove it. We're going to talk a little bit today about family vacations because we just took a really short family vacation.
Like a micro. That wasn't even a vacation. That was a day trip. It was a half a day trip.
As far as I'm concerned, when we leave town, when I get in the car for an hour and a half to drive to a place, That's vacation. Like, what else is that? That's vacation.
Okay, so what if you drive across town and then back, and then you have to go back to get something, and it's an hour and a half in the car? Does that count as a vacation?
No, because I'm going back and forth. I'm saying straight line driving
A
somewhere.
straight line, all right.
So this was a trip that I absolutely did not want to take.
I know, I was aware.
Hour and a half drive I didn't want to take. The first stop was a place that I did not want to go because I could not go in, a cat cafe, and I'm really allergic to cats. So there was that. It was outside. It was in the heat. Heat that I did not want to experience. I mean, it is getting so hot now that I'm starting to take it personally.
No, it's definitely like the 7th level of hell hot.
No,
here in
I am
Florida.
not built for this heat. I'm built for mild temperatures and soft lighting. That's what I'm built for.
Yes.
We went to St. Augustine, and one of the things I love to do when we go to St. Augustine is get a cigar. Well, I couldn't do that around the kids because they would have freaked out.
Also, it's too damn hot
No, I would have.
to be smoking things.
No, I would have enjoyed it.
First of all, I kept telling you to go do it, and you were, no.
No,
So-
because Muffy would have lost her mind if I smoked a cigar. Like, here's the thing. If I smoked one every day or even every week or even every month, like, I can see being super concerned for my health, but I'll do it when we go to St. Augustine without the kids.
Yeah.
And so the last time I did that was what? It was like 3 years ago, right?
It was 2001.
2001.
2021 for your 50th birthday.
2021 is better than 2001. I didn't even know you then.
That would have been your 30th birthday.
That's right. So anyway, this is why I wanted to talk about vacation. Now, I will say that all of these things added up to me potentially having a really shitty time.
Yeah.
But I decided when I realized there's no way I could get out of this trip,
We would have happily left you here.
you would have not happily left me here. You would have been miserable because I was here.
Meh. We would have missed you, but if you were going to gripe, we didn't want you to be
Well,
there.
but see, that's the thing. I decided that none of that mattered, that I really just wanted to be around my family, and that no matter what happened, I would have a good time.
Yeah, and you did it.
And I did have a good time. And it's just as easy as flipping that switch,
Yeah.
folks. I'm here to tell you.
But the kids were really happy. They were fine. We ate at the Columbia, which is a restaurant that we love.
Not a sponsor.
And
By the way, we're at the Columbia, right? We had a delightful server. So I saw a lady come through that I took to be the manager. So I took it upon myself to call her over and say, hey, look, this server we had, she was exceptional. She took it upon herself to regale us with her opinions that people of that generation,
Gen Z,
did not have good customer service skills. Right after we finished telling her that this lady or girl or whatever was exceptional. And so that was a conversation I probably could have done without.
Well, I was fine with that because we had just been talking about that at work. So she was saying, oh, she's an exception. Like, she was an exception. It's hard. You got to teach them these skills, which is fine.
Meanwhile, all of her employees were like going back and forth, listening to what she's saying, which I thought was pretty crappy.
I was just annoyed because she kept apologizing for the placement of our table. I was not upset with the placement of our table. She kept being upset with the placement. We should have moved this over. Ma'am, I'm fine. Well, as soon as you get up, I'm going to move it. I don't care about the placement of this table. So she just was looking for the things to be upset about.
But I am curious, parents out there, when you have to take your kids, particularly your younger kids, on a long road trip, what do you do to keep them occupied? Because Winthrop, our lovely son, does not stop talking. He will not stop talking.
Sometimes he stops talking, but then he just makes noise with his mouth. Like, he beatboxes and sings and does things. He constantly needs to be making noise.
Being the one who's driving on a trip, that does not work for me.
I drove over there. You
Right,
always
I
drive
drove back.
So-
Yeah,
right,
I drove back, but he started up.
He was doing that the whole way over there. You just had earbuds in, so you didn't hear it.
Oh, I heard it because they weren't good earbuds. Here's the thing with me. When I'm driving, I need for it to be silent so that I can concentrate on the road.
I don't understand how you were married before. I don't understand your 1.0 and your children, because in no existence have I ever had that you can drive with it being silent unless you are by yourself. I don't know who set this expectation for you that when you are driving, it should be silent other than be alone, because it does not happen, friend. There's going to be noise.
Right, but Marriage 2.0 was supposed to be better.
You are welcome to travel alone. No one needs you in this car. I mean, Muffy's super easy because she just goes to sleep.
Yes.
Immediately, as soon as the car leaves the driveway, doesn't matter if she just woke up from sleeping 12 hours, she goes to sleep. She wakes up when we get home. Like she is super easy. Go to sleep. Winthrop, no.
What's the worst family trip you've ever had?
Oh my God. But this one's dark, friend. We had a series of a travel year, and I'm trying to think of when it was. I think it might have been 2018, 2019. It was definitely before COVID. And we were traveling for dance when Muffy was dancing, and we were traveling every month. We had two very horrific things happen back to back when we were traveling. Do you remember these?
I remember the one in Miami where a relative of ours got in big trouble.
Yeah, I know that one.
You're not even thinking of that one?
I forgot about that one.
Sorry.
I was very upset for a while.
Yes, no, we're on a family vacation to Miami.
The night we got there.
The night we got there, we found out that a relative of ours was in big trouble.
No, I am talking about the time that we were staying in the Orlando airport.
Oh my God.
Did you forget about this?
I intentionally blocked this out of my mind. Do
you want to not talk about this?
No, we can talk about it. We've surely talked about this before because this is a major life happening.
Well, we weren't doing the podcast when this happened, so I don't know if we have. So when Muffy was dancing, the very first convention of the season was always at the Orlando airport at the Hyatt there. And we loved staying there. The people watching was amazing. I mean, just like fun things to do, right? It was great. Well, the second year we went, so this was like the third time we went. The first year we stayed off site. The second year we stayed there. This was the third year. Winthrop was like in a stroller. He must have been maybe 2. And Josh and I, we dropped Muffy off. She was in a ballet class. And we're walking through the main terminal by all the stores. And there's just this loud boom. And we happened to be walking by the Brookstone store, and they just pulled us in and took us into the back room and said, you must stay here with us. They shut the door. They shut everything down. We had no idea what was happening. You immediately got on Twitter because we thought like active shooter. We thought a bomb. We didn't know what to think. Muffy calls the phone and she says, Mommy, they're saying there's somebody outside shooting. And I think this might have been before Parkland or right around Parkland.
It was in 2019.
2019. So we are in the back room of this Brookstone store. I'm on the phone with her. She is at this point 12, 13 maybe. Winthrop's 2 or 3. And she's saying, Mommy, they're saying there's somebody out there shooting. And I'm trying to talk her through it. You're in the room is locked. You're with, the teacher. You listen to the teacher. Josh, you got on Twitter, and what did you wind up finding out?
People in the airport were saying that a dude had just jumped from like the 10th floor of the hotel that is in the atrium of the airport.
Yeah. So what wound up happening was that he got off his shift. He went up to the top floor and he jumped to his death. Incredibly tragic. We were then released from the store. We went out and we could see them performing CPR. Clearly it was not successful.
I can't believe this is the story that we're...
Listen, you wanted really bad family vacations, and
I
clearly
know,
you
but
forgot this happened to us.
I'm feeling like, a tire went flat.
No, friend.
Or I forgot my shoe.
And I got one more that goes corresponds with this.
Then I don't know that I want to hear that.
All right. So anyway, it was really, really bad, right?
My God.
It was really bad. It took you a really long time to process and recover. I remember this really, really getting to you. This is a really bad family vacation.
Don't tell the others. If the other stories like that, then don't tell that.
2 months later.
Jesus. I'm going to stop you right there just to tell you that the guy's name was Robert Henry, and I will never forget his name or what he looks like.
Yeah.
Seriously, don't tell another tragic story.
This one ends better than that one.
The bar is low.
2 months later, we're at the Gaylord Palms in Orlando. We're at the pool with Winthrop. And then all of a sudden people start screaming. There is a child face down in the water floating. The grandfather was supposed to be watching the child, looked away, the child drowned. One of the dads that we were with got to her first. He started performing CPR. They took her out, and then we wound up finding out she spent the night in the hospital, but they were able to revive her. She did not have any long-term injuries, right? So it ended better. But this was the cursed season. And I was like, we are never traveling again because every time we leave, something really tragic happens. And then you know what? Was the last time because the next time we travel for dance, COVID. So then we just stopped traveling for dance. Why are you putting your hands on your face?
Because I don't know what to do now. Like my story was the time where our middle son, Andrew, got...
I should have let you go first.
Jesus.
Oh, no, that's a really good story. There, tell that story.
So we're on our way to Orlando on a different trip. Because this is what you do when you're in Gainesville. You're going to Orlando, right? Or Jacksonville or St. Pete. That's what you're doing. These are the only trips you're allowed to make, I think.
That's right.
We all hop in the car. It's me and Muffy and you. And was Winthrop a thing?
Winthrop was a thing.
Okay. And middle son Andrew, who's also HACW.
Well, and older son Daniel was there too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that. I just remember that we drive all the way to Orlando, get out of the car at the outlet mall, and Andrew's like, "Oh, I've forgotten to put shoes on."
Just totally didn't wear shoes. And we were going to be gone for like a couple days. This wasn't a day trip.
Oh, no. Yeah. So, of course, the first place we went was a shoe place and got him some sandals that he wore for the rest of the time. And I guarantee you, it's perfectly possible that he left them in that hotel room when we came back home. My son, I love him, but this is what he does.
Well, I mean, maybe he keeps track of his shoes better now.
How many pillows do you think we've lost on these myriad of dance trips we've taken? That's the thing that really annoys me. And I am super paranoid about checking and double checking and looking under beds and all the things for chargers, for shoes. But we have left a ridiculous number of pillows in hotel rooms.
I have a vivid memory of being young, like maybe 4 or 5, and leaving my brother brought me when he was in the Army a little stuffed dog that's sitting on that shelf right there. And I called it my mom called it my security. So I named it Curity, and it had to go everywhere with me. And I left it in a hotel, and my mom made my dad turn around and go get it. And we were a couple hours down the road, and my dad did not want to turn around, but he did. Because my mom was like, "You're gonna turn around," because I was hysterical, and we went back and we got this thing.
So Muffy inherited this from you then, because how many times have we needed to get her little security blanket?
Yeah,
from
we've
a place.
left it at my mom's before. My mom mailed it back, but that's only 2 hours away. But she was with her dad once flying, and she left it in a store in the Atlanta airport, and they didn't realize it until they were on the plane, and the door was shut.
Yeah,
and she pitched a holy fit until they finally opened the door and let her dad go with her, go get it. But yeah, I mean, I get it. So my mom did the same thing for me. I was trying to think, you asked me to think of bad family vacations. And before I came up with the tragedy, I was thinking of some. I remember when I was little, we took a road trip. We never flew anywhere when I was young, because I didn't fly until I was 16. We never flew anywhere when I was young. It was not a thing my family had money for. Most of the time we just drove up to like Pigeon Forge and Cherokee and like the Smoky Mountains. But this one time we were going to DC. Ronald Reagan was in the White House. So it had to have been mid 80s, right? And we were staying in a hotel in Falls Church, Virginia. And it was nighttime. We checked into the hotel. They gave us the key. We went and opened the door, and there was a body in the bed. Now, I am going to believe it was somebody sleeping. I just remember my dad walking in, seeing the body in the bed, and said, "Nope, we're leaving." I am choosing to believe they gave us a key to a room that was occupied.
So you don't even know. Maybe that's where your bad luck started.
Right?
Jeez.
You flew a lot with your dad, right? Because he worked for Eastern Airlines.
Dad worked for the airlines, and so I was used to flying, and it didn't faze me until one day it started to faze me. As an adult, I think. Yeah. It didn't bother me as a kid because I was a little bit more ignorant back then, but as an adult, I don't like flying now. It's not a thing that I enjoy. The trips to and from England stress me the hell out.
Did they really?
Oh my God. Because the longer you're in the air, the more chance you have of falling out of the air. So
I used to love airports. I loved flying. Never flew. I never flew. The first time I flew, it was me, my best friend who was, I was 16, she was 15, and her younger sister was 13 with us. We flew from the Orlando airport, direct flight to Baton Rouge, because her older sister.
That's a short flight though, right?
A couple hours. Her older sister was part of Jimmy Swaggart's church. If you are formerly evangelical, let that sink in. And my mom was letting us fly up there so we could go to church camp. Okay.
God, the picture you paint.
We were up there. We spent 3 weeks. We were flying home and the weather was so bad. And we had a connecting flight going home through like Knoxville or Nashville. I can't remember. The weather was so bad. We missed our connecting flight. We landed in Tennessee and they said, you have to spend the night because of the weather, but because you're minors, we're going to put you up in a hotel. They put us on the shuttle. They drove us to a hotel. I remember them taking us into an office and having us call our parents. And my mom told the lady no. She said, they're going to have to spend the night. My mom said no. And I don't know what she thought was going to happen, but I'm sure she didn't sleep the rest of the night because it's before cell phones.
Right.
It's not like she could be in touch with me. So we're on this shuttle. There are other people on the shuttle. They take us to the hotel. We get into the hotel room. Boys that were on the shuttle with us have figured out our room number and they're calling our room.
And thinking what exactly?
I don't know. So I pushed the dresser up against the door and sat with the Bible all night long because I thought this was going to protect me.
Oh, you sweet summer child, you.
Yes. That was my first flying experience. But I liked flying and I liked airports. But then after I flew like the month after 9/11. Like,
oh, God.
I mean, maybe like 3 weeks after 9/11.
Oh, absolutely not.
It was a planned trip and I had to do it and I was really, really scared.
Of course.
And since then, like,
so what
flying
happened?
sets me on edge. We were fine, but I mean, we were flying out of Gainesville, this teeny little plane that probably had propellers. I don't know, flying up to Asheville.
Yeah.
And it was really scary. So I've flown to Japan. I've flown to Hawaii. I've flown to the UK. Like, I've done long haul flights. I don't like them.
Yeah.
I liked them as a kid. I do not like them now.
Do you out there have any flying stories, any travel stories, any bad vacation stories that don't wander into the tragic?
I told you my stories were dark. You asked me to think of them. I said they were dark. You said that was fine.
FamiliarWilsons@gmail.com is how you reach us with your light, happy, cheerful travel stories.
It's a comedy podcast, friends.
We will be right back after a word from our sponsors. Are you tired of your family vacation feeling more like a hostage situation? Does the phrase, "Are we there yet?" make you question your life choices? Well, now we're introducing the revolutionary Peace Pack, the only travel situation that comes with a money-back guarantee and a therapist referral. The Peace Pack, brought to you by Wilson Technologies, contains everything you need for a harmonious family road trip. Noise-canceling headphones for you, not the kids, because let's be honest, they're the problem. Industrial-strength coffee packets that dissolve instantly in any liquid, including your tears. And our patented tactical snack deployment system, because nothing stops a backseat meltdown like strategically fired goldfish crackers. But wait, there's more. The Peace Pack also includes our exclusive Are We There Yet counter that automatically responds with increasingly creative answers like, "We'll be there when the cows come home," or "We'll arrive sometimes between now and the heat death of the universe." And for a limited time, we're including our bonus emergency dad joke generator because nothing diffuses family tension quite like a well-timed pun about rest stops. Peace Pack, because nothing is better than a peaceful family vacation. I got a question for you, Amanda.
Yes.
I've been listening to this new podcast, well, new to me, not new, because they've been going for 6 years, called Shag, Married, Annoyed, with Chris and Rosie Ramsey. I'm enjoying it a great deal.
Super funny. Funny couple.
They do this segment called Beefs.
Okay.
And so what they do is every week, they tell each other one thing that really annoys them about the other person.
Oh, is this something we're going to do?
Well, do you think we'd be able to do it and survive?
Yeah. I mean,
You do?
I already tell you the things that don't annoy me on this podcast, but go ahead. Let's see how this works out for you.
No. I'm not suggesting that we do it. I'm opening it for discussion though, because I want to see if we can try out new segments or whatever.
Yeah, I already got some. Go ahead.
No, Jesus. No. First of all, I don't think that we could do it because like this is their bit, right? And we would be just blatantly stealing from their bit.
Are they going to know?
Well, no, but everyone else will know.
Okay.
But secondly, I think that I'd be fine with receiving your criticism.
Oh, you receive it anyway.
Yeah, because I get it anyway. I think you would be so pissed.
Yeah, let's try and see what happens.
Really?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Really? I don't have anything prepared. All right, we'll be right back, folks. All right, so go ahead. What's your beef?
I have so many.
Just pick one, please.
Right now I am bothered by that corner.
Okay, this is not a visual medium.
But I'm bothered by your desk with all the things on top of it, and also by these clothes that are on this thing that you made me promise I wouldn't put anything on.
Okay.
And also, I don't know how many socks build up next to your head. Why are the socks up there by your head?
What do you mean
Your
by my
feet
head?
are down here.
What do you mean by my head? They're not on my pillow.
No, but they're on the ground by your head. I can understand if you take them off and kick them like there, and then you pick them up the next morning. There's like a graveyard of socks, and they don't have matches. I don't know how it happens.
Well, what I do is I take the socks off, and then I put them. I don't put them down by the foot of the bed. I put them down where I can see them, where I can get to them on the floor next to my head. What's the problem?
And when do you get to them?
When I see them.
Okay, so they must be invisible to everyone but me, because I see them and they're still there. Go ahead. What's your poultry?
Well, why don't you pick them up if you
It's
see
not my socks, are they?
them? Just pick them up.
I actually do, friend, and this is why you think you've picked them up.
I take the garbage out.
Oh,
it's not all my garbage.
This is good. This is good.
It's not all my garbage.
I'm sorry. I clean up the dog's vomit and poop. Not mine either, but you told me this is the arrangement. You take out the trash and I clean up the poop and the vomit. Good.
Okay, so
All right.
we have
Go
no
ahead.
issue.
What's your complaint?
We have no issues. This is why this was a bad idea. And furthermore, I don't know that this is entertaining podcast listening.
Well, I think it makes people feel like we're relatable. Like we still like each other, we still podcast together, but we still annoy the mess out of each other, and we're still married.
And
So-
you don't think that that's already come through just in our
Yes.
regular podcasting, that we need to now really antagonize. Okay, I'll tell you mine then, since you
Fine.
you gave me about 7 there, right?
Yes.
You don't believe me.
Oh, okay. Is this like an existential I don't believe you, or when I ask you if you're okay and you say you're fine, I don't believe you?
No, well, that too. But like, for example, every time we podcast, the dog needs to be in here. Like he feels this compulsion to be in here. He will never let us podcast alone. So even today, we started in the studio here, door closed, dog not in here. First thing I said was, Amanda, you should go get the dog because he's going to be crying at the door. You said, no, he's in the other room with Muffy. I said, you know he's going to be in here. You said, no, he's in the other room with Muffy. We're setting up. We're getting ready to record. What happens? We hear the dog at the door.
Was whining at the door.
Happens all the time with all sorts of different subjects where I will say, this thing is going to happen. And you say, oh, no, it's not going to happen. And invariably, I'm
I
right.
am a glass half full kind of girl.
You are so full of shit.
I'm waiting for I believe in the power of change and love to change the people in the world. And I believe that my love for him is enough to get him to stay away.
Why did you all of a sudden start to sound like Jimmy Swaggart? I believe that my love for him.
Because my mama put me on some Greyhound buses and made me go to some revivals all the time when I was little. So,
Okay, here's the thing. If I didn't know you, I would believe that you believe in the power of hope and all that nonsense. Not the case.
this is such a realist. Maybe I'm a pessimist. Am I a pessimist or a realist?
I think you're a pessimist.
Yeah, that's sad.
So that's my beef with you. When I say things like I know how things are going to go, and it happens with the kids too, like, oh, he's not going to like that, or oh, you shouldn't say that. And you don't believe me. So believe
Because I
me.
want to believe that things will change if I want it bad enough. I also grew up with Joel Osteen, and it is the name it and claim it thing. So I am naming it and claiming it.
So you want to believe that things will change.
Yes.
How's that working out for you with the sock thing?
I mean, the socks are still over there. The dog's in my feet, so I don't know what to say.
All right. So, folks, what did you think about this wonderful new segment
Is this something we should keep?
that we have somehow survived? Another thing I was thinking about, though, that we might could add.
You're done. You said all the things.
No. This is a different podcast angle here. Video podcasting.
Okay.
It's another thing that folks not even are starting to go to. They have gone to.
Yes.
And people say, oh, you need to have a video component now. What do you think about that? What do you think about that in general?
I mean, it's fine, but we've tried, because we were really into Good Mythical Morning for a long time. I still watch it. You're not into it anymore. But from the time that we were listening to their podcast, Ear Biscuits, it's always been televised.
Right. Video.
So it's a thing, or video on YouTube. So it's not a thing that's new to me, but we were trying to watch Chris and Rosie Ramsey's show, and you're like, it's boring to watch. So I wonder about who would want to watch it, but I'm fine trying it as long as you let me know ahead of time, so I'm not sitting here in my, my jammies and my hair just out of the shower and no makeup on.
It's kind of difficult for me to say whether I would want us to do it because I don't know that I would watch. I don't watch podcasts. I listen to podcasts as I'm driving to work or as I'm working and doing, stuff at the desk. That for me is what podcasting is all about.
Right.
Audio is forgiving.
Yes.
Right? Audio doesn't judge me for wearing mismatched clothes.
Audio doesn't require that I put a bra on.
Audio doesn't care that I haven't washed my beard in 3 days.
I care.
Audio is my friend.
Okay.
Video is my enemy.
Yes.
And I'm not ready to embrace my enemy quite yet. So I don't think we will be switching to video. I don't think anyone wants to see us, or me at least. I think that they're happy to see you. Maybe if it was just 2 of your faces, like we do AI, where there's you and then me with your AI face.
Telling me that it's annoyed by me? No, I don't like that.
Oh, talk about existential. Well,
Very
I think
meta.
that half the charm of podcasts is that people can imagine that we're cooler than we actually are.
That's right.
So I don't know that I'd want to ruin that illusion. So maybe we won't go to video.
Okay.
Email.
It's time for emails. If you want to email us, familiarwilsons@gmail.com. We have a refined gay thoughts from Jeff. He said, these words really spoke to me this week and I wanted to share. He says, and I really needed to hear them this week. From Lifecraft, The Art of Meaning in the Everyday by someone called Forrest Church. So what gives our life meaning? Here's my short list. Kindness does, also forgiveness, generosity, enthusiasm, ecstasy, empathy, above all love given and received. For any of these things, 1 minute is not a bad start. Invest in at least a few minutes in saving your life before you lose it. Finish a good project. Start a new one. Ponder the cosmos. Shake your head in wonder. Tell someone you love them. Kindness never hurts. That's it. That's what he says.
I love that. Thank you, Jeff, for sharing that.
If you have any wonderful, lovely thoughts, familiarwilsons@gmail.com. If you want to tell us about a terrible family vacation, familiarwilsons@gmail.com.
No one likes to be told what to do.
And now is the time in the program where we tell you what to do. Amanda, what should we do?
If you have not gone and watched the Apple TV show Shrinking, please go do it. Watch the first season and then really put off the second season. You weren't interested in watching it. We tried. It was too difficult for you. And so I wasn't watching it. I just binged the second season and my God, it was so good. It ended in a really hopeful way. I'm looking forward to next season. There will be a third season. If you don't know, Harrison Ford plays a therapist who owns a practice. And it's just about, I love ensemble cast. I love kind of quirky narratives all around. And he has Parkinson's and his medicine has kind of stopped working. And so his Parkinson's is progressing. And Michael J. Fox is going to be guest starring on several episodes in the next season. And I'm really looking forward to that. And so if you haven't checked out Shrinking, go do it. If you only watched the first season, by God, please go watch the second season. So good.
I didn't find it too difficult for me. I just didn't like it.
No, you liked Harrison Ford a lot.
Yeah, I just didn't like any of the other people, I guess.
Well, also because, it's about a guy whose wife dies in a car accident, like killed by a drunk driver. And so it's all about grief. And it was really difficult for you because he's not processing it well and he's not being a good dad. And that part was really hard for you.
Well, mostly I felt like it was inappropriately cheery.
I mean, to quote the Indigo Girls, you got to laugh at yourself or you'll cry your eyes out if you don't.
Okay. There you go. All right, Amanda, that's all there is. There is no more. What do you have to say about all that mess?
I mean, you ask me every weekend. I don't know. It's all over the place, but I hope that people like it.
This show would not be possible except for the contributions of the following people. Thank you to Matt, the Chief Airport Security Line Analyst and professional layover enthusiast. Leo, the Senior Vice President of Airplane Armrest Negotiations. Josh Scar, Director of Hotel Wi-Fi. Antonio, Head of International Electrical Outlet Compatibility Studies. Danny Buckets, Executive Producer of Rental Car Fuel Tank Mysteries. Chicken Tom, Lead Coordinator of Poultry and Trip Advice. Monique from Germany, Ambassador at Efficient Train Schedule Expectations versus Reality. Whew. Joey, Refined Gay Jeff, Curator of Boutique Hotel Bathroom Amenity Reviews, Mark and Rachel, Co-Directors of Couples Travel Argument Prevention, and Dan and Gavin, Joint Chiefs of We Should Have Left Earlier Hindsight Analysis. So thank you, everyone.
I dreamt about Dan and Gavin the other night.
What? You didn't tell me this.
I did tell you this. They were in the United States for a basketball tournament.
The things that would never happen.
They were in the tournament. Oh no, it wasn't basketball.
Wait, they were in the tournament?
No. It wasn't basketball. It was professional spin cycling. Like, you know, where the bicycles are stationary because it's like a spin class. That's what it was.
I can see where you would mistake that for basketball.
No, it was because it was in a big like arena thing and they had the Jumbotrons, which had their pictures up on it.
Do you need to have working fingers for spin cycling? Because Gavin has a jacked up finger. You know this, right?
I mean, I think he could, we could harness him in. He'd be okay.
Okay, well, we'll see if we can't get a harness for Gavin. Bet you already owns one. All right. Until next week, everyone.
Go be kind.
Bye.
Bye.